Hello and welcome to another episode of Double Barrel Gaming. I'm your host, MrBooMStickXL, and on today's episode, I'm going to be discussing the beta that literally no one is talking about, and that is Metal Gear Survive by Konami. I recently played the beta that ran from January 18th through January 21st. It was available on both the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 consoles. Metal Gear Survive is multiplayer based but can be tackled in single player if you do choose to play that way. The game being played in the background of today's video is in fact the Metal Gear Survive beta. On the load screen, it confirms that the game is going to be Xbox One X enhanced, which will add more graphical fidelity to the finished build once it launches in February. Surprisingly enough, Metal Gear Survive takes place right after the events of Metal Gear The Phantom Pain, and in early gameplay videos, Snake and the survivors of Metal Gear Solid 5 are shown flying off, leaving the remaining soldiers to fend for themselves. This is where Metal Gear Survive starts, and the beta, unfortunately, is a bit bare bones, and doesn't really explain too much. The menus were slightly confusing when starting the game. It controls identical to Metal Gear Solid 5 with slight tweaks. There is no explanation of the actual Metal Gear Survive story within the beta. This may scare some players from purchasing the game. If you're interested, check out the E3 reveal trailer. I will have links available in the show notes below. Another issue Konami faces is the possibility of the gaming public still being angry with the way Kojima was publicly outed from the company on October 9th, 2015. Metal Gear Survive will launch in the United States on February 20th, 2018 for the budget price of $39.99 USD. I've already pre-ordered Metal Gear Survive because the game does look interesting, and from what I understand, there's going to be a single-player campaign that explains where they are and how they got there. As it was explained by Konami's brand manager Richard Jones during the E3 reveal in 2017, the survivors of Mother Base are pulled through an unexplained wormhole that opens up, pulling all of the remaining staff and pieces of Mother Base, trapping them in a world that is unfamiliar not only to the characters, but to the player as well. On the surface, and without any context, the story does seem a little far-fetched. But considering how some of Metal Gear's stories were written in the past, it's not too unbelievable. During the beta, it's presented to you as a base-building survival-type game. You are meant to scavenge for items of every shape, size, and value. You then have crafting tables where you make everything from guns to bows and arrows and every type of explosive found in the Metal Gear universe. There are also automated turrets that you can build that protect you and your allies as you're drilling for more materials within your base to help you find a way home. The gameplay is set up with several time rounds with a set number of enemies per round. There are rewards you receive in the form of Konami's signature cardboard boxes containing building supplies and other goodies. Like I said earlier, unfortunately the beta does not really give you a grasp on how to do some of these things. It appears Konami is letting you understand the basic controls by simply moving around the character and does little to explain how to craft the bigger weapons that you're going to need to actually survive this horror. Though it is a beta, the game looks and plays like MGS5. If you're into the base building aspect of Fortnite and like the wave-based gameplay of Call of Duty Zombies, then this game is definitely for you. I do expect the finished game will go into more specific detail on how all of the mechanics are done and seem less confusing to the player. Once the game does go live, I will not only do a reaction video, but a review as well. At this point, Konami did its job. I'm intrigued enough to want to purchase this game, and the $40 price tag certainly helped with my decision to want to give it a shot. Now for today's community spotlight, and that person is Miss L Boogie. Some of the things she wanted people to know about her is that she's a single mom, a student, and a soldier. Gaming has been a part of her life as long as she could remember. She started playing video games with her dad on the Atari, but because her uncle was a VP for IBM, he made sure that all the kids in the family had a PC from a very young age. Her very first video game experience was with Sim Ant, Myst, which she could never figure out, Roller Coaster Tycoon, and Half-Life 1. She recalls seeing Half-Life 1 running, and it scared the hell out of her. Her first real console was the Nintendo NES. She had great memories of playing Duck Hunt on her wall in her room. That was by far her favorite gaming moment as a child. Miss L. Boogie took a break from gaming in her high school days while trying to figure out who she was and what direction in life she was going to take. Back then, gaming was considered a guy's thing to do. It wasn't until she was in the military that she started to remember why she loved gaming in the first place. Being in the military is why the Wolfenstein series holds a special place in her heart. When I asked Miss L. Boogie what her favorite gaming console of all time was, she couldn't decide on just one, so she gave me two, and they are the OG Xbox and the N64. She recalled making some of her fondest memories playing those systems with her little sister. They would play Dead or Alive beach volleyball, and though that may not be at the top of some gamers' lists, the memories of hanging out with her sister remain the strongest ones that she still remembers to this day. Miss L. Boogie's favorite gaming character of all time is Lara Croft from Tomb Raider. What she loved about this strong female character was how much of a badass she was. Not only was Lara Croft intelligent, but she could fight with the best of them. She was her female Indiana Jones. As a young girl, seeing a confident female like Lara Croft made her feel like she could accomplish anything. That statement alone should prove to anyone that video games are no different than reading a fantastic novel. Being able to visualize what you were reading was made much easier by being able to play it on the screen. The Tomb Raider franchise remains Miss L. Boogie's favorite in gaming. She's extremely excited for Shadow of the Tomb Raider and has high hopes for this next installment in the Tomb Raider franchise. Her game of the year for 2017 was Wolfenstein 2, and according to Miss L. Boogie, the story was phenomenal and extremely well voiced. Being a strong black woman, she identified with the story more than some because of the strong female lead character of Grace Walker, who led the resistance against the Nazi menace. When asked what was her favorite gaming moment of all time, she immediately responded with being damn near the front row of E3 2017 and watching the full Xbox One X reveal with Aaron Greenberg being only 2 seats away. A powerful memory that she will never forget. What she loves about the Xbox community is that when she went to her first E3, she met the Xbox Junkie, Inferno217, Doc Cupcake 84, and Midnighter 20C, and they made her feel right at home. She looks forward to each and every E3 to add more friends to her ever-growing list of people she met at the Xbox Fan Fest. I asked her about her thoughts on the single-player dilemma that gaming is facing, and this is what she had to say. She believes that the single-player campaign will never die and that the next steps in single-player immersion will happen with AR or VR. Honestly, I can't wait to see where they go with it. Lastly, I asked her what goals she had for being involved with the community and the Xbox brand, and this is what she had to say. In the last couple of years being involved in the amazing community, they have shown me that I want to do this as a career, and my goal now is to work for the Xbox on their community management team. Fantastic goals that I hope come true for her. Miss L. Boogie is someone that everyone should know about. She is a quality, well-educated member of this amazing Xbox community, and it is my absolute honor to suggest that you follow her on Twitter. Hit her up on Xbox Live and follow her on Instagram. All of her contact information will be in the show notes below. Once again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that like button. All of the subs and likes help me continually grow the channel. Have an awesome day.